know the power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Good evening, everybody. This is another episode of Docking Bay 94. Weird, though, because we're on a Wednesday. Although, if you're listening to sci-fi.radio, you are hearing us on a Thursday. It's wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. But it's okay. We're making it work. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is just Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And thanks for hanging out with us here. Apologies for last week. We went out to do this really cool ghost thing that didn't have. We like got throttled by the wireless in the library that we were at. We went to the Upland Public Library. They were doing a talk on real life ghost stories. There was a guy who'd written a couple of books.
Yeah.
People came in to talk about their local experiences, which were really cool, like personal experiences. And so what happened was we had everything set up, everything was working, everything was terrific, and went to connect to the radio and the video, and we couldn't do it. It was like really bizarre. It just told us wouldn't do it. And then I brought everything home, and I opened my laptop. The minute I opened my laptop, it instantly connected to the radio station. So there was obviously something funky going on with the library's Wi-Fi, which may have just been a thing that, like, they didn't want anybody shooting video or streaming from the library or whatever they did, because their speeds were terrific. We just couldn't get out. So next time, we'll have that fixed. Jeff tried to fill in the gaps there by sort of like doing Facebook Live, which was better than nothing.
Yep.
But
so
I feel bad about that. If we do that again for a Halloween thing, I think we're going to do it a little differently too. Where I think the most interesting part of the whole night was just people telling their personal stories, and I think next year maybe they'll focus just on that, because that was the cool part of it. So there we go. How's everybody's week been?
Gosh, I've been tired all week, but I feel like we say that every week, so, but my tired this week is because the pollen count in Los Angeles was really high last week.
Yes.
And my allergies didn't kick in last week, but they kicked in this week, and when my allergies kick in, I basically am exhausted all the time. So that's how I am.
I get that. If I get too much exposure to weed, that happens to me, or if I'm having asthma, that's a real problem. Certainly takes fun out of everything.
Yeah. Boo. We did do Sean and I, with a new group that we started that came out of Lux Theater. We have a new group called Rayford Radio, and we performed 3 spooky shows last Saturday.
Yeah, it was last Saturday.
And it was fun. It was we had a small audience, but in the end we had enough people so that we didn't feel like we were in a room by ourselves.
Right,
which is good.
Entertaining ourselves.
Yeah, because we had a little bit of a bobble with the marketing. Sean and I have put on these shows for years. Sorry, we haven't done it for years, but we used to do it years ago.
Right.
And we never had to get an audience. The audience, other than one show we did, the audience was always built in. And so we've never had to market ourselves. And we discovered that the venue wasn't really marketing us either. And therefore, nobody was buying tickets. So
right.
it was a little bit of a problem.
So this was a little 49-seat theater that we had been asked to do a presentation at, which was cool. And like it's been weird. So the first show we were going to do got complicated by the passing of Colleen's dad and our having to do family things, and so we had to put it off. So we focused on the Halloween show, which is what we just did, and it's in San Pedro. And I discovered that here in Los Angeles, there's a lot of people who don't want to go to San Pedro because it's kind of down where the port is. And the battleship Iowa is down there. There's all sorts of interesting stuff down there. There's a maritime museum and things like that. But a lot of people just didn't want to go because they're like, "Oh, San Pedro, that's too far," or I don't want to go there. It's scary, which was really funny. So we did have some locals come, which was good, and we also streamed it live, and people could have bought tickets to listen to it on the air, which would have been fine.
Cool.
And we haven't reviewed any of the recordings or anything yet to see how we sounded, because I don't know that they do the streaming very often. And there was also supposed to be a radio simulcast, which didn't happen either, for a brand new radio station that's getting started down there. So it was potentially a very complicated thing. We had fun regardless, and everybody gave pretty good performances, I think. But I think we're sort of considering it a dress rehearsal for our next performance of it, which is going to be at the Lanternman Picnic in a couple weeks. So, but at least we're ready. Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that was like the big thing for us this past
And then,
weekend.
Sean, you did you took your costume out to someone.
I did. Somebody asked me if I would rent my costume to their production, and then it turned out to be a charity thing. So like I don't really want to rent it to them. Just give it to them. And what they were doing is apparently there has been this ongoing series of videos for kids. It's sort of like how to deal with being a kid and like how not to get bullied and how to take inspiration from other things and that kind of thing. And the person that I was put in contact with was an actress named Chase Masterson, who was on Deep Space Nine and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so she's doing this thing, and they have like 60 or 70 of these videos that are, you'll have a character, like in this case Luke Skywalker, talking about how to deal with bullying and whatnot. Then they have, for parents, an introduction by a doctor who says, this is what we're trying to accomplish with this video, and this is how you can participate as a parent. And then they have other parental resources and things. And it was really kind of neat. And it's been going on for 10 years. I have no clue that this was happening. But anyway, they needed a costume because it's Halloween, and they haven't really been able to piece costumes together during the season because everything's just not available. Plus, some of the stuff they were getting was pretty ratty. So took the costume down, hung out with them from like 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., and we shot a bunch of stuff. And the actor was terrific. Matthew, the guy who was doing Luke Skywalker, was great. And best yet, he was taller than me, but he was mostly my size, so I didn't have to modify my costume too much to fit him. The big thing is that he delivered his entire monologue in Spanish, which was, I mean, that's nothing I can do. I don't know Spanish very well at all, and so it was really kind of interesting to watch them do this. And like by the end of it, they had a really great video, and even though like I don't speak Spanish, I could catch the actor's emotional beats as he did that, which was kind of fun. So
Cool.
It's apparently called the let me try that again. Pop Culture Hero Coalition. And so you can go to Pop Culture Hero Coalition and read all about it and see what they do. And they were partnered with YMCA to distribute these things, and they have some really good people on board handling the psychological aspects of it and the medical aspects of it, and it's really neat. But yeah, never even heard of it, but it was really fun to participate in, and hopefully I'll have a way to do more with them. I have a finite amount of costumes.
Cool. Hello to Chris and Budala, who are joining us on Facebook and Twitch, respectively. And just to let everybody know, we're pre-recording on for sci-fi.radio, and we can't really play pre-recorded things for Twitch and Facebook, so we just decided to go live rather than sit here with by ourselves.
Yeah, so if you get confused and you think it's Thursday, you're wrong. It's Wednesday, and I'm sure there's a way to do this. I haven't exactly figured it out yet. Maybe for some time in the future, maybe next week, which is Halloween, and we're very unlikely to do anything on Halloween because all of us are probably handing out candy.
Yep, busy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And Lisa is listening. Lisa says she has no idea what day it is anyway.
Right.
So
that's most of us don't either.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts.
Sean and I went to a birthday party, a friend's 60th birthday party on Friday. Last Friday.
Right.
That was fun.
That's good. A friend of mine from high school, Scott.
Yeah, and we saw people that we haven't hung out with in a really long time.
Yes.
So that was lovely.
Oh.
Although, one of those reminders that we're all getting old.
Right. One of the people that we haven't seen in a long time said to me and another person there, I can't believe you guys, I look so much older and you guys haven't changed even a little. And I had to point out that the room was pretty dark.
Right.
There weren't a lot of lights up in the room.
That's very true.
So that everybody could say what everyone looked like. It was very friendly lighting for.
But the thing that's really
the
amusing
aging.
about this is that our friend Scott has lived in the same apartment since he was attending college in the late 1980s. Mm-hmm. And so we've watched this neighborhood over almost 40 years, and a lot of it's the same, a lot of it's very different, but Scott's apartment has been consistent this whole time, which is really weird. And this is where we used to meet this particular group of people, because they all went to UCLA and were part of the science fiction club and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a little bit surreal that we were all so much older in that space, because we don't go there a lot. It was like, wow.
And our friend's health wasn't doing great, so right when I wanted to leave was when our friend wanted to go to bed.
Right.
And so he basically said, okay, party's over. And then I realized that we were going to be leaving him with all these dishes. So we put everybody leaving on hold. I did the dishes. Somebody else took the trash out.
Folded up the chairs. We tried to clean up the party
yeah.
as well as we could.
Yeah, everybody put things away. So it was...
Scott didn't have to do it, because
Right.
that would have been rude. And then what he usually does is the day or two afterwards in the following week, he does a leftovers party. And he's like, okay, here's all the food that people didn't eat. Come on over. Have that too.
Yeah, he did that on Sunday, I think.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
It was fun.
Not too bad.
Jeff, what about you?
Cool. Well, yeah, I did the Ghostbuster event with Sean. Not really.
You did a lot this week.
Golly, yeah, I was rather busy. The Ghostbuster event, I think it needs a lot of work. It really does.
What, the thing at the library?
What we did at the library.
Oh yeah, well, it was the first
that
time.
needs a lot of work.
It was the first time they did it, and it was centered around the author of this book. And I think what they should do next time, and we talked about this out in the parking lot, don't worry about having an author in. You don't have to make it connected to a book per se. What you do is you invite the community in and you say, bring to us your best real life ghost story or your favorite fictional ghost story. And that's what we talk about. And I think that would be a lot more fun than, because I was a little confused about the guest, because the guest had like video that they didn't end up really showing. And
we like a clip.
Yeah. And I like ghost stories. I think they're just fine and they're spooky and they're crazy. And Colleen and I have had experiences with things that we can't explain that I thought were really fun.
Yeah.
Most of the ghost stories were of the sort of, paranormal activity, very aggressive kind of thing. And our author guest was a little bit on the defensive, I think. Because I think a lot of people, give them crap about, I don't think your stories really happened or whatever. Because the stories are they're about very belligerent, aggressive ghosts who like say things on the recordings like "you're going to die," that kind of stuff. And I find those kind of ghost stories like less fun. And so I think maybe next year we should focus on just fun story, because I like to hear about people sitting in a room and lights turning on and off and weird furniture moving and stuff like that. And we got a little bit of that.
Yeah. A little bit here and there.
Yeah.
They could easily have stuff have next year have stuff out on the parking lot for kids to do or something.
Yes.
And then have a ghost story up there. Just make it a community situation, a whole community thing. But yeah.
Well, and so you're in on it now. So I think between you and me and Andy and Alan and Adam, I mean, we could probably plan a really fun thing.
Yeah.
So let's do it. I think it'd be fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just so far away. I think it took me 3 hours to get out there.
It took you forever, man.
Yeah, I left at 3 in the thoughts I would get there by 5, and I got there at 6:30, and it was really tough.
Yeah.
So it was a scramble to get the tech set up for the show, but we did it. We got it. We got it set up. Everything worked. Everything was great, and then we couldn't connect to the stupid internet.
Which library is it?
Yeah.
Upland Public Library.
Upland.
It's the one that took over for Rancho Cucamonga.
Mm-hmm.
So it's.
I know it's the one that Alan was at. I just couldn't remember which library it is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But excuse me. When I got there, I was like, I figured we were just going to be going and doing something similar to Costume College in a sense, that we would talk to people as they came up or whatever. We'd have a thing there. Then no, you're interviewing them. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a convention panel, but the guys there were 2 guys there, and they had written this book together. And what happened was they sort of just turned their back to us when we were Pretty sitting much. There, and you can see it on Jeff's video, where basically the author who was there, he basically just turned his back to us and started talking to his buddy, which was not what this was supposed to be about. I had all these questions. I was going to moderate the panel basically, and that didn't happen. So whatever, it is what it is. If you saw Jeff's video, awesome. If you didn't, that's okay. I didn't even record it. I'm like,
yeah.
Because they weren't very interested in using microphones or anything anyway. So.
It'll be on Facebook forever, so it's okay.
Right.
Go back and look.
That's right.
But
so
it's just mainly that guy talking, but yeah.
Alzheimer's Walk? Where was that?
Yeah. So the Alzheimer's Walk was at Bolsa Chica Beach, State Beach, or the beach, and that was fun in a sense that it was not a lot of us. We just kind of wandered around and then took pictures. The usual thing, but it's like the beach. And I noticed that because of where it's located, there's a refuge, or not necessarily a refuge, more like wetlands that you can go through on a path across PCH.
Oh, that's cool.
And I remember that when we had the big storms recently, like this past rainstorms we had, the rainy season, it literally the sea surged and flooded, and you couldn't get there's like that part of PCH was closed. And then I'm at the Bolsa Chica, and they have these just massive sand berms built up on the beach.
Wow.
I guess in hopes that it'll keep the surges at bay if we have another big storm. I was like, okay. But that it was just a lot of to see a lot of people and the pictures and saying hi to saying hi to little dogs that were freaked out, and then when I left there, I went to see my brother. Because he lives in Huntington Beach, which is not very far. Got to spend some time over there and talking to him and his wife.
Oh, right on.
For a bit, because I don't hardly ever see him, But I try to do the Alzheimer's walks every year. I think I only did like 2 of them this year because I missed one or something. I don't know, or 3 this year. And then I got home and then like. I had to leave after a couple hours when I got home because in Corona was the Light the Night troupe. It was called Light the Night. It was a cancer walk.
Okay.
Like blood cancer, for like blood cancer and whatnot. And it was actually walk, which I didn't even know it was a walk until I got there.
Now, did you have to walk, or did you just stay?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. I went basically because one of the people that was organizing it, I guess, was ran into Sparrow at Staples, and Sparrow talked about all the charity work and stuff. So, I signed up for it through Rebel Legion, and so Sparrow was there doing face painting, and I was there with Rebel Legion, and then we booked it from there like around about 7:00.
Very cool.
So yeah, it was neat. I got a flashy bracelet that wouldn't turn off, and
so you were lighting the night.
It was like, yeah. This UCI was handing out these little bracelets. They like turned them on and hand it to you, and there's no way to turn them off. I think they just had plastic in front of the batteries and just pull it out.
Yeah, it was probably just a little tab that pulls out. I've had those.
Yeah.
They give them out at concerts and stuff too. And they work like the magic bands where they can control the colors.
Yeah. It was just blue and blinding. It was buzzing in my face. I'm like, this is like Tron, but a really nightmare Tron. It was just, So we got home from that, and like the next day, I went out to Huntington Beach for the hydrocephalus walk.
Just doing,
and that was just actually me and Eric. That's the only people that came.
Oh no!
But
Eric, which Eric?
Yeah.
Which Eric?
Kaufman.
Oh, Kaufman. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's just us. So we have, and we had, I guess, a POC, but I worry what happened to her. We didn't see her. She didn't show. So we're like, oh dear.
Flat tire.
Yeah, something. I don't know. But in any case, that was okay. I mean, we weren't there for very long because they for the walks, the best thing for them to do is say like, this walk I think started at a certain time, like 9:45 or something.
Right.
And you want to time it so that like if it starts like at that time, then you want your people to costume to be there like at say 7:00 or something.
Yeah.
Whatever, or on you're ready and stuff. But it was so late that we were there, and then we were basically done quickly because the walk started, and then we had nothing to do. 'Cause
Yeah, we
everyone was out walking out of the walk.
we do the bra walk down here at the beach, and it'll be like 501st Rebel Legion, and it's a stone's throw from the house here. So getting there early is not a problem. But
Okay.
yeah, we usually get there at 7. They usually kick off by 9, and then they're done by like 11. And so we cheer them on at the start, and then we cheer them as they come back in, and then we'll hang around the carnival a little bit, and then we go. And you know, doing like 4 or 5 hours there is like it's not a problem, because you know everyone's so excited to see you, and it's really cool. So I'm kind of jealous of the week you had. It's pretty good. I haven't done that many charity events in a while. And
I was rather busy.
Yeah, totally.
And then like, I've been decorating the yard, so I'm actually close to being done decorating finally. The good thing, because Halloween's coming up quick.
Yeah, next week.
Like almost done decorating. Yeah, we have the neon green beef cloth, I guess it's called.
Yes.
And we're cutting the holes, and cutting the holes. We're going to stretch it out from the fence, and it'll be like a web. So that's the next physical thing I really have to do, and other than hanging up pictures outside, and then 2 more tombstones that have to go back in the ground, as it were. And we have like a inflatable coming.
If there is any kind of trend this year that people are really doing in their yards, it's this what they call beef cloth or beef netting.
It's supposed to help so that the birds don't get sick.
Yeah, I mean, which is great. So this is this is it here.
There you go.
And I don't know why Jeff's not showing up on our little thing here.
That's okay.
There we go. So this is the stuff. It's pretty neat. I really do like it, and it's a little cartoony, but it's a great way to do like giant spider webs on your house easily. As opposed to that little tiny fibrous webbing stuff they used to do. But yeah, I dig it.
Yeah. I think Knott's has been using it for a long time, but it's good to see more people using it now.
Yeah, and you found some that was neon green, you said.
Yeah, Aubrey found some at the, I think it was like a Party City or something that Aubrey found it. So
that's pretty cool.
It's just that it's like 10 feet long and so many feet wide, and then it's like cut.
Yeah, you have to make every slice.
You're there for hours.
Yeah. I'm wondering if
it's just a long thing of just sitting there cutting it.
I wonder if it's easier to stretch it out first and then do your cuts with X-Acto knives or something. So,
I don't know. Probably.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It looks like neat stuff. I had considered getting some, but I wasn't exactly sure where to put it. We're almost done with ours too.
Yeah.
Colleen went out and did the fine detail stuff, putting the tea party together and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, I haven't finished though. I just did the tea party. I haven't done the flowers on the graves yet. I have to pull that stuff out.
But I'm happy with the lighting.
Yeah.
I have it up on the timer, which I think is working. Our timers work intermittently for some reason, but I saw out the window. I think that out Colleen's window, that the lights are on.
Yes, I can see them.
And yeah, it's nothing too big from last year. It's all about the same as it was previously. We got one more skeleton who is now holding a painting of a bride that we've had previously, but has washed out over the years. And Colleen went in and did all the details on the bride again, repainted the painting, which was cool.
Yeah.
And she also added. I have a giant video screen that is like a 55-inch TV that shows a picture of a painting that changes to a skeleton and ghosts are on it, and it does all this. I did some video up for it, and so that is like sort of a changing portrait from the Haunted Mansion, kind of on steroids. And the painting that came with the frame that I had bought to put around the TV set to disguise that it's a TV featured like a village scene, and Colleen added to that. Tell them what you added to the.
Oh, it's a village scene, and it has like a steeple on one side, and I put clouds of bats coming out of the steeple.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
When I first saw I had the paintbrush in my hand, and I was looking at the painting, and I'm like, I need to paint like a dragon on this. And then I went, I do not have the skills to paint a dragon on that. How about some bats? Bats from a distance.
Yeah.
They're easy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look
Nice.
It did look really good, and
I could show you a picture.
Cool.
It'll take me a minute to pull it up.
Once yes, we have like another like we got a couple inflatables because we have like our yard is so wackily shaped that I had to change exactly how I'm setting anything up because it's just like it's a long triangle now.
Uh-huh. All right,
This is a
I
weird
sent that
mess.
to the chat.
Oh, okay, great.
The
The DB94
DB94
chat.
chat.
I will try to find it.
Yeah. And then the tomb I got tombstones from Target because I needed some more tombstones, and one of them was like a white creamy, sort of a cream but white color. I'm like, that'll be fine. The other one looks like stone, sort of. I'm like, I'll leave those two alone.
Right.
The other ones are like orange and pink.
I see. I don't understand.
I don't want orange and pink tombstones.
I don't understand that because I saw those exact
and
same
pink.
tombstones that that were regular stone colored at Target last time I was there. So it's really bizarre that they're
I've
there.
never seen those.
This is Colleen's painting. There we go. The clouds.
But we
of
bought what
bats
we could
coming
because
out.
they didn't have any. They didn't have the gray ones, so that's cool. Yeah. So
Well, you covered for
I
it
bought the other ones.
very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I used a bunch of dry lock. Or not a bunch actually. I'm like, Owen's like, I don't have a lot left here. I'm like, I used it. And I'm like, can't tell I even used any. Like, so. And two of the tombstones were like cheap. They're like from the dollar store, and they had like glitter on the lettering.
Yeah.
So it's like either green or red. I'm like, I don't want that. So I like, so I used the dry lock on the lettering, just on the face part. I didn't do the sides of the lettering. I just left it so because it still sticks up. I'm like, well, the glitter will make it look so you can see it better. But yeah.
Cool. Oh, I found.
It'll be fun. Almost done.
That's sinister and loud. I found the picture of the bride painting that
Neat.
that I had done. So this is it's like a big TV screen that sits out there, and it's got like some animation and stuff, and then the ghost like goes away and then comes back to the
Oh
bride.
yeah.
Although I feel
Yeah.
like this is
I heard that.
this is an early one because the way it is now, she turns into a skeleton before she turns into a ghost,
Huh.
and I don't
Okay.
see that on here. Yeah, I repainted her as a skeleton and then crossfaded between the two, but it's kind of neat. And we killed the TV last year. We had to get a new one.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
dough.
Oh. Hi, Lori and Sam. They're watching now too.
Hey.
Oh,
woo.
all right.
Yeah. So I'm almost done to the deco. It'll be done like in a few days.
That's cool.
So thank goodness.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I went to Disneyland.
And then yeah.
Yeah, I went to Disneyland yesterday, and there's so much crossover between the two parks right now for the Oogie Boogie Bash, and so it's funny to see how many people in costume are going to Disneyland first, and they are kind of everywhere, and then they vanish because then they go across the way and they go to the other thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I had a bad day at Disneyland yesterday, which was kind of a bummer.
Bad.
Yeah. It largely just because things happened that were weird. So, Tiana's Bayou Adventure has opened, and I got a reservation.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't sure I was going to be able to use, but I got to the park, and basically once I signed into the park, it's like, get here by 4:05 or something. And I'm like, hey, great. So I hot-footed over there, and I get in line, and I wait in line for like 45 minutes, and then the ride breaks down. And I leave, and I go off, and I do some other stuff, and it looks like it's open again, so I go back, and I wait in line again, and the ride breaks down again. And so I leave, and met up with Mario, who does he's part of the droid builders for the Disneyland droid builders, the Batu droid builders, and so kind of hung out with him for a while. And he did the $40 photo experience that they are doing.
Oh yeah,
at the park, and so we talked about it, you and I. On the show before, and they have extended it quite a bit. So it's actually going through the 23rd of November.
Oh wow, cool. So it could be right for Life Day, huh?
Yeah, and so if you're going to Life Day and you want some really good pictures of that, and in fact, somebody who shall remain nameless. Has they gave me a document, and I'm trying to send it over to us right now so that I can show it, and we'll share it on the page about what this whole thing entails, and it's really kind of interesting.
Here we go.
To see. What they're doing with it. So it doesn't even have a fancy name. It's called the Pilot Program, and it's a Black Spire Outpost image capture session. And so they're going from now to the 23rd of November. It stops at 7 p.m. For now, and it's and so Mario did one of these. It was pretty great, and we went. He had to get his pictures outside the park. There's a photo kiosk to the left of the entrance. And so he went over there to get them.
Okay.
And he did that, and we walked through downtown Disney. We went to the Star Wars Trading Outpost, and I was going to pick something up, and then I realized I didn't have any of the contents of my wallet. I had my wallet, but I didn't have any of my credit cards or anything, or my ID. Everything was gone.
Yikes.
Now, the thing that was really weird is that everything I had bought that day, which was, pretty much consisted of like a Ronto wrap, I used my phone. I used the wallet on my phone instead of taking my wallet out of my pouch. And so somehow these cards got out of my pouch, and I can't figure out how. And so the first place I went back to check was this photo place where Mario got his photos, and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, we found a whole bunch of ID and cards and all this kind of stuff, and I'll find my lead. And so they couldn't track the lead down. The lead had apparently sent them to Lost and Found, which was 50 feet away from this photo place. And regardless, it took me like 3 hours to get my stuff. And so originally I was going to like leave by 9, and instead I left like at midnight. It was really awful.
Damn.
Yeah, it was bad. And then sort of injury to insult, I hit a traffic cone on the way home, and I trashed the whole side of my car. So I lost a hubcap.
Oh, God.
One of the guns shattered. I lost all the hoses and the mounts for the hoses. It was bad. And so, because like you're on the freeway, right? 65 miles an hour, and you hit a big rubber traffic cone.
Not good.
Yeah.
Sucked. So I'm
that's ridiculous.
I am
man, dude.
super bummed about that, and especially because we have an event tomorrow night. So if I'm lucky, I'll get the hubcap back on. And today I felt so crappy that I just couldn't make myself get up and work on it. It was just a really lousy day. all told. And
Oh, damn.
But yeah, sometimes you wish you had an undo button, and this was a day that I wish I had an undo button. I just like, can I just relive this day over and not do whatever I did wrong? It was so weird. But at least I got the stuff back from my wallet. Yay, that was cool. The guy was really cool about it at the Lost and Found, which was funny. And because he's going through the stuff, he's like, well, don't forget to contact your credit cards. Keep an eye on things. Make sure nobody bought anything on your credit cards. And and if anyone did, it would have been one of the Disney employees. But that seems weird. And the guy's going through my cards, and I'm like, you could just hand them back. And he's like, oh, an insurance card and a thing. And like, SAG-AFTRA. You have a SAG-AFTRA? I'm like, yeah, I got a SAG-AFTRA card. Like, yeah. It was weird. It was very strange. But anyway, got that stuff back, got home, and just crashed. Crashed hard, but not sleeping. Crashed.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm a bit of a zombie today.
Gotcha. Oh, man.
But you did get some good sleep this afternoon. So.
I did. I just felt bad about doing it because I should have been working on my car and stuff. But one of the problems with the guns on my car, the bottom part of the guns are made out of leaf blowers, and that model leaf blower they don't make anymore. And so now I think I'm going to have to replace both of them. And also when I got the leaf blowers, it was like for $10 a pop, because it was some crappy used tool store. That I can't remember the name of now, to go back there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like, it's just, it's just how my week is, I guess.
If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, Rosanna Dana is haunting me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. And today I went to Knott's Berry Farm and had an interview, so.
Well, that's fun.
We'll see what comes of that.
The interview was today?
Yeah, it was today at 11 o'clock this morning for a tour guide at Knott's Berry Farm.
So, interesting.
For school, it's like for schools and such.
Bit of a zombie today.
Gotcha. So it's like like an educational one. And then I went in the park and had some food because I have that little pass, because I was like, oh, it's lunchtime. I was going to eat. Went on a few rides. And then on the way out, I went to the Independence Hall because it's open.
Oh, nice.
Only the bottom floor is open, as it were. I don't know if the upper floors are ever open, but the bottom floor is open. And because to believe it or not, I don't think I've ever been inside of that thing. And I've been living in Southern California since about 1980.
Oh, that's funny. Because we have done events there, picnics and stuff there.
Yeah, I want to do a picnic when I get my 18th century done, because I will be in the right theme.
Yeah. So I went inside and I took pictures and such of a bunch of stuff, and it was neat because it took pictures of the outside too of it, because I've never really been up close to it, and that I could remember. Maybe I did as a kid and I don't remember, but I went inside. I'm like, I don't recall any of this, but
I have been to the real Independence Hall. And it's pretty much exactly as you would imagine, except weirdly, the one at Knott's Berry Farm, and I don't know if this is just because it's like open to the public all the time. There's not a lot of furniture in there. Last time I was in there, it was all very green inside, and there wasn't a lot of furniture.
Yeah, and I don't remember ever being able to go upstairs.
Yeah. You the only furniture that I know of is there's some benches that you can sit on by the bell, and then of course there's the stuff you can't sit on at all because it's supposed to be where they assign everything.
Right.
But there are seats but there is a seating area in there because because they have like a live Ben Franklin and a live whatever. They weren't in there today, but I think they do have like two people portraying like Jefferson and Franklin, I think.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when I saw the Liberty Bell, and this is the replica that's inside the Knott's Berry Farm one. This is the inside of the Knott's Berry Farm interior.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I saw the Liberty Bell, it had been moved into like this big glass enclosure, which was really kind of strange. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
It was, yeah. I mean, they have like they have a coach in there, and then the bell, and a lot of and there's the merchandise area, if you want to call it that room. There's a lot of like busts of different presidents and Walter Knott. And then like there's a piano which I didn't take a picture of, but there's a piano that like a French. It was a French or Italian, like harpsichord. I think it's
Right.
Yeah.
I guess
yeah.
I guess it's better than I remember it being. I'm gonna flip over to Yesterland here, and so
Yeah.
this is the outside of it, and they show the whole construction, which is kind of neat as they were like putting things together.
Yeah.
Doing up the Liberty Bell here, which looks like it's fiberglass. There's a note here that says Independence Hall, the replica is 167 feet tall to the top of the weather vane, which is 20 feet taller than the Matterhorn at Disneyland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
I put a few pictures that I took in our Facebook thingy. Oops. What's this thing?
Cool.
Wow, there's a picture here of Tom Bosley as Ben Franklin. And I guess they shot footage in there for the Rebels.
Very recognizable cheeks.
Right? Jowls. Yeah, it's really pretty funny. There were some pictures on the inside. Let me see if I can get to them. So there's the bell that we were just talking about.
Yep.
And then they showed like I don't remember this. Last time I was in there, I don't remember all the desks and stuff in there.
Oh, I do.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. I remember it being all empty.
You can't go in there where the desks are.
Right.
Yeah.
It was not like this to my recollection, so it must just be me.
It is you.
Yeah.
But it was a neat thing. So this was the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. This is how I experienced it.
Actually, yeah.
And which was kind of interesting. I was a kid. It was the bicentennial. It was 1976.
Yeah.
And my grandparents thought that I should, see history or whatever. So flew to Pittsburgh, and went all around the eastern seaboard. We went to Massachusetts and did a lot of Lexington and Concord stuff. A lot of battlefields. So many battlefields.
Yeah. So and there was like, of course, I didn't realize this. Someone else did. I went and looked at the bell and left the room after I took pictures and saw the bell. And then I hear someone talking. I'm like, what is that? And then like there's a button to press in there, and you can hear the story of the Liberty Bell.
Oh, that's fun.
That's neat.
And it's got music and then someone and the guy narrating whatever. It's actually really neat. I couldn't tell you who the actor is, but he sounds really flippin' familiar.
Very familiar.
But I'm like, God,
That's
who is
funny.
that?
We'll have to look it up. This is the coach that Jeff was talking about from his picture.
Nice.
And let's see here.
Yeah.
I go this way. So this tour job that you interviewed for, would it be doing the tour of this building? What's the area covered by the tour?
I'm not. They didn't really say. It was historic. There was. I think that part of it will be that. So there's different ones. There's the Independence Hall. There's Calico. There's other parts of the park, and then there's even one for like backstage, so to speak, or lights on, as it were, Scary Farm.
Oh, cool.
People go through the mazes and see what it looks like with lights on and all that.
And is this the one
There's
that
other ones too.
that largely pertains to like the school year?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool.
Pretty much, yeah.
Glad it seemed
So
interesting.
we'll see. I don't know. Yeah.
Neat.
Right
So
on.
that was the neat thing. I was like, wow, finally got to go.
Hey.
I'm gonna make it my plan to have a picnic there next year. So, should be fun.
Okay. Yeah.
So, we have 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Can we get the
ouch.
birthdays in?
Yeah, we should be able to.
Go for it, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we're doing Star Warsy stuff. Okay.
Oh, hang on.
October 18th.
Hang on, Jeff. Hi to Lori, Vicky, and Mario, who all just popped in over on Facebook. And that's it. Go ahead.
And Pat's watching on YouTube.
Oh, hi to Pat.
Yep.
Sweet. Oh, Mario is who I was hanging out with at Disneyland yesterday.
Oh.
There you go. That would explain a lot.
Right.
Okay. Where was I? Oh, yes. Okay. October 18th, 1930. That's when David Tomblin was born. Assistant director on Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And Lord, a lot of other stuff. Second unit director on a lot of Lucasfilm, but even Superman 2 and like
Wow.
Spielberg, Empire of the Sun and stuff, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I imagine he
a lot
worked.
of stuff. And
He worked on everything in Europe.
Yeah, ton of stuff long before Star Wars, from like 1947. So wow, that's a pretty long resume there. Wow. 59 it says. Anyway, next up we have Jack Angel's birthday, which was October 24th, 1930. He was the voice of Rom Mock. We'll go with that.
Mock,
The
yeah.
Dark Forces game.
Yeah, he was the big bad in the Dark Forces game who created the Dark Trooper.
Yeah.
And he was...
which is interesting that they did.
Yeah, and he was a voice guy primarily as an actor. He did a lot of,
looks like it.
a lot of stuff, including being the preacher in Beetlejuice that was doing Beetlejuice's wedding in the first Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's...
and the Smurfs.
The Smurfs? What Smurf?
Yeah,
Oh, he was
Smurfs.
Papa Smurf. Wow, that's
see?
kind of impressive. In the Legend of
Yeah.
Smurfy Hollow.
Yeah.
Toy
183.
Toy Story
Wow.
3, Wolfenstein, did the Ice Age stuff. I'm kind of rolling way back to his early career. And
Yeah.
he was in DuckTales.
Yeah,
He did a lot of
right.
additional voices stuff.
Oh, Roger Rabbit. Yeah.
Who was he in Roger
Who
Rabbit?
Framed Roger Rabbit? That same thing. Doesn't say. Additional.
Additional voices.
He was Captain Jack Higgins in the Real Ghostbusters. I guess one episode of that, but Transformers. He was Ultra Magnus and a bunch of this, and Cyclonus and Arcana for 60 episodes.
That's pretty
Wow,
cool.
he was
Although,
busy.
really,
That's insane.
I do know him from Dark Forces. It's like the biggest role I think I've ever
Yeah.
seen him do.
Yeah. Jeez.
Nice.
Voltron. Holy crap. Jeez. 122. Wow. So yeah, busy guy. Yeah. So Jack Angel. Next one we have on the list, is October 22nd, 1937. Alan Ladd Jr. was born.
AKA Laddie.
And yeah.
Alan
He's
Ladd.
he's one of the reasons why we got Star Wars in the first place.
Yeah, Alan Ladd Jr. worked for 20th Century Fox, and after getting turned down by every studio, including Fox originally, I think, Alan Ladd Jr. decided to take a chance on Star Wars and thought, maybe it'll be okay and make a buck or two. Lucky for Alan Ladd Jr., it worked out.
Yeah.
And he also gave like the green light to a lot of other projects and things. Like I think he did Alien, and he did Braveheart and Willow and Outland and all sorts of stuff.
Huh.
And the thing that's really
Nice.
very funny is that like he's often credited as producer of things, and then he's often credited as just like, production. It's like no real credit for him.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
interesting. But The Towering Inferno, Young Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Phantom of the Paradise, The 3 and 4 Musketeers, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Anyway, Laddie did a lot of
Wow.
good in his career.
Yeah, seems like it.
And really championed a lot of really great movies. So, super cool.
Gotcha.
Right on.
Oh, hey, Liz. Liz is there too.
Woohoo!
Hey, Mr. Tillard, Matthew, he's watching as well. We're catching up with other people here.
Excellent. Well, it's
So,
not too bad for being on the wrong night.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe everyone's just confused.
Right.
Exactly. Next on the list is October 18th, 1950 is when Gerald Holm was born. He was a mime artist, actor. He played Tessic the Quarren and a Mon Calamari officer Varric in Return of the Jedi.
Okay. Some of those
And,
characters that they had to go
Not
back
a huge
and
number of this.
give names to later.
Yeah. Yeah, he had like 17 roles, and that was one of them. Or one of the movies he had 16 other things, which I don't really recognize these other things. So, except she was in Shane the TV series, not the film.
Shane,
But,
the TV series.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird, huh?
That's
In 2004.
that
Yeah,
is.
peculiar.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
How bizarre. And he's only got like
Yeah.
17 credits under his name.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not a huge number, but yeah.
And
still
I
fun.
imagine
you
it's
know?
one of those things that if you are British, you recognize all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and he was a puppeteer apparently too. So this is like other things where he was a on-screen character, and then he did puppeteering for for Spitting Image, Little Shop of Horrors,
Little Shop of Horrors.
and of course Return of the Jedi,
Right.
and Return of the Jedi.
Okay,
So, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh,
Pretty cool.
Cool. He's credited as a mime.
Man.
Funny.
Yeah. The next big one is October 21st, 1956. Carrie Fisher was born.
Ugh, that
Princess Leia.
chick. I miss Carrie Fisher, and I'll tell you why I miss
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher so much
Yeah.
right now. She was so snarky and lived such a, I don't give a flip lifestyle. She'd have been chewing people up and spitting them out right now over the current election. And I'm sad that she's not here to do that for us.
Yeah, I know. Darn it all.
But yeah, it's her daughter Billie Lourd has been every year on her birthday publishes these like really long moving things, and her post this year was about she's been trying to celebrate for her birthday, and this year she really it really hurts that she can't celebrate it with her, and so it's kind of a tough read, and then just the anxiety and agony and grief and stuff over not being able to get Carrie over her addictions and stuff. And while at the same time, Carrie
Yeah.
made no bones about those things and said, look, life is tough and get help and do whatever, even though she couldn't. So
Yeah.
really, really crazy.
Yeah.
We were somewhere, I don't remember. We were and trading Carrie Fisher stories not too long ago as her birthday was approaching. And you and I, Jeff, I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but you and I went to Disneyland along with some of the Saber Guild people to do
Oh yeah.
the lightsabers for Leia thing at the thing. And there were only like 8 of us at the most. And that was weird
Saber
because it
Guild?
was early. What's that?
We had a couple Saber Guild. We had some Saber Guilds, I think, but mostly, mostly Rebel Legion, didn't we?
Well, it's crossover.
Like
There's a
couple
lot of
Saber Guilds.
crossover in the group, like
Yeah.
and whatnot. But I think officially it was the Temple of the Silent Sands from the Rebel Legion.
Uh-huh.
So I guess that's officially
Yeah.
where it falls. But yeah, and everybody did that on behalf of Leia. I got some. I did get the pictures from the photo pass, and they seem pretty cool. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Awesome. All right. And the last one on the list, we could do it now, or we can wait and
Nah, do it now.
right afterwards. It's 8:01.
Oh,
Okay.
is it? Okay.
Last one on the list, the birthdays. Yeah. October 23rd, October 23rd, 1970. Grant Imahara. God damn it. Grant Imahara was born. If you don't know, he worked on he worked for ILM, and of course, most people know him from MythBusters, but he was mostly a lot of work for ILM.
He was
a big old list, and some acting too.
Yeah, he was a model maker primarily, and so Grant did The Lost World. He did The Phantom Menace. He did Galaxy Quest. He was the chief model maker on Galaxy Quest. Worked on The Matrix, Terminator, all sorts of really interesting stuff. And yeah, as an actor, he showed up in stuff like Beneath the Dome.
Oh yeah.
He and I share a credit, actually, which is the Labyrinth of Jareth Masquerade Goblin Kitchen. Grant.
Oh, see, there we go.
Grant is easy to spot, and I am in a big green goblin snot mask.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man, I remember that year. Yeah.
Yeah, Grant was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He really loved being a part of fandom, which was really great. And his passing was really sudden and surprising and disappointing.
Yeah.
2020, so it's
Exactly.
like a little over 4 years. And real bummer. And in fact, the last thing he and I were talking about, he had contacted me about the charity stuff I had been doing with the Yoda puppet, and he was trying to make a Grogu puppet and wanted to get hooked into the charity circuit to take Grogu to kids' hospitals.
Oh man.
And he never got to do it. And I'm sad that he didn't, because he would have absolutely loved it, just watching the kids' reactions with Grogu and stuff. So would have been super cool.
Totally. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, he played Sulu. Anyway.
He played Sulu in Star Trek Continues, which was a fan production.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. All right. You are watching Docking Bay 94. You could be listening to us a day late on on sci-fi.radio, but currently it's a Wednesday, and you could be watching us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Any of those things are awesome. Thanks for tuning in on the wrong day. Jeff and I are going to a charity event tomorrow in Orange, and as a result, we're taping the show early. Kind of nuts. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Donoho.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And thank you for hanging out with us. We're just kicking.
All right. So.
And then I got the other part.
Yep. What's the other part?
Section 2.
More Star Wars.
Hi, Eric. So we're in the history part, so we're done with the birthdays.
Right.
October 22nd, 1998. as the incredible cross-sections and visual dictionary was published by DK.
It's a neat book. It shows you how
Yeah.
everything in the Star Wars universe is supposed to work, but because it's all fantasy,
Yes.
they got to make stuff up.
Yeah, yeah.
And those
Oh,
those
yeah.
authors, I think, went on to do quite a number of books, which was really interesting too. I'm trying to find their names here. The problem is the book is like out of print, and because it's out of
Yeah.
print, it's all on eBay.
Yeah. 26 years later. Yeah.
Right? Oh well, say la
Yeah.
guerre.
October 23rd, 2007. That's when a lightsaber from Return of the Jedi went into space. Aboard one of the shuttles, I believe, right?
Yeah. So what
Oh,
happened?
no, 2007 was it shuttle?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it was still the shuttle. That was a case of they sent it to Johnson Space Center, and my friend Roger, who was working there for NASA at the time, escorted it
Yeah.
over to Kennedy Space Center, and yeah, they did. I think they put it on the shuttle, and of course, it was always meant to like come back and get back into the Lucasfilm archives, and
Yeah.
so it was one of those things that was like taking science fiction and science fact and kind of merging them together and things. So kind of
Gotcha.
fun. I'm looking to see what shuttle mission. It was STS-120. So
Okay.
yeah, 2007. Spent the trip safely packed in foam inside an inaccessible compartment in the Discovery space shuttle, which is not very romantic, but it did make it into space, and it came back,
Yeah.
and they got it back to George, and nobody got killed with a lightsaber in space. So there you go.
Oh, that's good. Thank goodness. That would be terrible. And last on our list of Star Wars history, October 24th, 2013 is when J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan took over for screenwriting Episode 7.
Oh, is that what happened?
Screenwritering.
Screenwritering. Yeah.
Anyway.
It also says Lawrence Kasdan.
I know.
Which is pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that the Star Wars movies were any better for having J.J. Abrams on board. I think he's a good director.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about him as a writer. And I feel like the very last one in the series, like they needed somebody to rein him in, I think. Because it just got silly.
Yeah.
Horses on a Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
It was weird. But
Yeah.
at least we got 3 more movies. Except they
Oh, yeah.
killed Han
Yeah.
Solo. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I was shocked he came back at all.
I know, right?
But he's like, hey, if you're going to kill me off,
Right. Finally, he's like, this is your chance. Kill me
Yeah.
off now. Lisa popped in. She's like, he doesn't know how to write an ending to save his life. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, Harrison
And he
Ford
doesn't yeah.
wanted to die the whole series.
Yeah. JJ doesn't like outer space because if you notice, the movies don't really take place in outer space, like Star Wars.
Right. Star Trek, if I remember, didn't take
Yeah.
place that much in space either.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
All
We're going
right.
to teleport there instead.
Theme parks.
Yay!
The Lightning Lane Premiere Pass coming soon. Didn't it come out like today?
I think so.
Today or yesterday?
I think it did. It was just I'm trying to look at the Forbes article, and there are so many ads. It won't actually show me any text.
Somebody whose Disney blog
boo.
I follow said that it
October
was today.
30th.
Oh,
This is October 30th.
Well, interesting.
And this is in
This is the $400
oh no, you're right. The
front of line pass.
October 30th is Florida. October 23rd, which is today, is Disneyland.
Yeah, I saw it on somebody's blog today.
At Disneyland Resort. But oh my gosh, it's like I mean, you
and
get
it's not, when I say front of the line pass, it just means that you get to go in the Lightning Lane for once for each of the Lightning Lane rides.
yes.
So $400.
It just seems like so much, and of course this varies by park if you're in Florida. So and it's depends on how busy the day is. They're doing flex pricing on it. So
They're not doing flex pricing yet.
right. Once it opens in Florida, they'll be doing flex pricing, and so it'll be $129 to $199 for Animal Kingdom. Epcot is going from $169 to $249. Hollywood Studios is $269 to $349, and then Magic Kingdom is $329 to $449 per person. That's not even like your whole group.
Boy.
It's you.
And I'm not sure if in California that $400 gets you both parks or just one. But it is only for one day.
Yeah, I don't know.
And there are 13 Lightning Lane rides at Disneyland and 7 at DCA.
Yeah. And the Disneyland Resort is going to go from $300 to $400 per person starting next year, but for now it's just $400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good gravy.
I don't know, man. I mean, it just seems really
And it's not, $400 doesn't get you to the front of the line. It just
Right.
gets you in the quicker line.
They call it line skipping, but it isn't really line skipping. And like I said at the top of the thing, I went to the single rider line and I spent an hour in the single rider line while the regular line for Space Mountain that wasn't the single rider line was an hour. And what was even the point? And the biggest problem is that there were groups of 4, 5, 6 people in the single rider line.
Yeah, but you've done that before too, so you can't really complain
Yeah.
about that.
But if you're like 2 people or something, I think it's okay. When you're 6 or 8 people, that's a lot to take the single rider line.
But didn't they all go as single riders?
Yes, except if the cast members could tell that people were together, they would kind of put them on the same train.
I don't know. I think that if people are willing to split up, that's what the single rider line is for. So
I guess so. I just think it's a bummer when it extends the single rider line to as long as the regular line. It's
Right.
sort of counter to its purpose. I just wanted to go on one ride before I went home,
yeah.
and I ended up standing in the line for an hour.
Well, you had to wait around anyway.
It was not cool.
You couldn't go home right away.
Yeah, but I could have gone and sat somewhere instead of standing for an hour.
Yeah.
It was not supposed to be an hour in the single rider line. I think they forgot about us.
Oh,
It's a
jeez.
real bummer. So,
It happens.
but yeah, it's just sort of entire mobs of people was kind of weird. And to be fair though, but when we went into Space Mountain, there's a line of usually just a few people, and it went all the way into the corner and all the way back out, and people kept trying to cut the line as a single rider. They'd come in and go, "Is this a
Okay.
single rider line?" And then they'd step in front, and it's like, "No, you have to go all the way to the back of this line to be part of it."
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Very, very ill organized. I'm looking at a list here of the other front of line park sort of fast lane things. Knott's Berry Farm is one of the cheapest at $74, and theirs
Yeah.
goes up to $129. SeaWorld is pretty cheap at $40. And Legoland is $100 to $135. I guess this is really big business for all of these guys. Six Flags is $170 to $275. That's the Magic Mountain Park out here.
Yeah. Yeesh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it just seems weird to me that
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing that after
It's-
already
it's
paying it.
like
It's more than the
it's
ticket
like-
to get in.
It's like buying the tickets. Yeah. It's like
there,
you paid to get in, and now you got the e-tickets again.
Yes.
yeah. There was a mass Make-A-Wish granting at Disneyland. There were 19 Make-A-Wish kids who requested a Star Wars experience. Disneyland hosted it at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, where the families were treated to a private dinner in Galaxy's Edge with an interactive show, park tickets with Lightning Lane attraction access, and other surprises.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I was there the day before, and some friends of mine sent me a note and went, "You went the wrong day." Because what they did is they basically took over Galaxy's Edge and populated it in a way that we always thought Galaxy's Edge should be populated. They had lots of characters walking around, people playing locals, and sort of guiding them through various experiences and things like that, which was really kind of neat. And it...
They also did a scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
Did droid building, and every family was given a cloak.
And one of the things that I love this one kid. It feels really great getting free stuff. And his mother had the presence of mind to look at least a little awkward about it. But people who were there as just regular guests that day were a little put out, not because these kids were getting a Make-A-Wish or because they felt like their day was encroached on, but because they felt like this is what Galaxy's Edge should be all the time.
Which day was it?
It was the 14th, 15th of September, somewhere around there.
Oh, well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was quite a while back, and yeah, I mean, Disneyland and Disney World are probably just about the highest request for Make-A-Wish stuff.
This article says that Disney experiences are a really high percentage.
Yeah, and I
saw the number a minute
I
ago.
have been a guide at Disneyland for Make-A-Wish stuff, which has been really cool. This sounds like Disney took it on themselves, which was really very interesting.
Yeah.
So, and they did one thing. This was something that everybody could see because it was out in the open. They did a thing that they had sort of promised us when Galaxy's Edge was going to open that they have never repeated since the opening event, which was they had Rey and Kylo Ren fight over top of the garage where the land speeders are. There's like a whole stage area up there, and sometimes you see troopers up there hanging out and doing whatever. Chewie goes up there a lot, but there was a whole big lightsaber fight between Kylo and Rey up there, which was really kind of neat.
50% of Make-A-Wish requests in the United States are for a Disney experience.
Mm-hmm.
And over the past 44 years, Disney has helped fulfill more than 155,000 wishes around the world. Do I have that right? I don't have that right. Add another 0. 155000.
Okay.
Wishes.
155,000.
Yeah.
that is right.
155000. You had it right.
Oh, yes, I did. Sorry. I
Yeah,
thought I
no worries.
lost a 0 there.
Colleen is decimally challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was pretty great, and I think they were very clever to mash them all together.
They apparently did it with a princess-themed event in Disney World that was really successful. And so they'll probably, in my opinion, if they're able to, do these mass events
Right.
more.
That's pretty cool. I think that it's a great way to deal with it. And the thing that's great is that the families came out of it despite being lumped together with 19 other families or 18 other families.
Yeah.
They felt like their experience was unique to them. And if you can do that while doing a big giant group thing, gosh, that's amazing. And it's a challenge too. I've done a bunch of Make-A-Wish stuff and other similar charities, and it's that's the thing you really want to get across is that they're having a very specific thing to that child, even if you've got 20 kids there or something. So, well, good for them. I think
Kelly said maybe that's where the high prices go to help Disneyland make a wish.
Right. Well,
if it was,
Yeah,
then we would all
exactly.
feel much better about it.
I'm actually kind of surprised because they easily could have done this, I think. Although maybe it's harder now that it's shut down. This would have been an amazing Galactic Star Cruiser thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where basically the families stay in the Star Cruiser, go to Batuu, have their adventure, and even if you just use the Star Cruiser as the hotel for them, that would have been phenomenal. But of course, the whole infrastructure for running it as an activity has been shut down, so I don't think they could do that.
Disney announced a new lounge opened in the Disneyland Hotel 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It opened on the 21st. It
Broken
is called
Spell.
the Broken Spell Lounge. And it draws its inspiration from Sleeping Beauty.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
The Broken Spell Lounge will be available daily beginning at 4 p.m.
Not too bad. I wonder if it's just a place to kind of hang out, right?
It's a bar.
Because it reminds me.
It's a bar.
It reminds me very much of the sort of things they were doing for Magic Key holders a while back, except they serve, booze. Where it's like, hey, here's a place we've made for you to come and lurk.
Well, this is in the hotel. This isn't in the park.
Yeah.
And I'm checking to see if there's a menu anywhere, but it is a bar. So
Yeah.
a revamped space. Used to be Steakhouse 55.
Oh, okay. So Steakhouse
It's been closed
55
a while.
has been shut down for a while, and it was open as a lounge just for a place for you to sit. That's really interesting.
On the menu, you'll find everything from dry rub chicken wings and classic Caesar salad to truffle fries and charcuterie pizza. When it comes to drinks, intriguing concoctions like the Inca Orchid, smoked cocoa, and silver cream use creative ingredients to create spellbinding sips.
The wine list goes up to $154 a bottle.
Well, that's a lot.
That's exciting. Their drinks,
It's cheaper than getting a Lightning Lane
It is,
super
and
experience,
you get drunk
whatever
at the
it's
same
called.
time. Their margarita is $19.
That's a lot.
21
So that $154
bottle of wine.
bottle of wine is probably not a very good bottle of wine
Well, it's
when you put amusement park prices in
it's Laurent Perrier La Cuvée Brute Champagne.
it. There are better champagnes.
I'm sure. Yeah. And then their California wines are $77 a bottle. They have a Rosé Brut from Champagne. But it basically works out to 15 to $25 a glass, or $35 a glass if you want that champagne. Lots of beer. Where's the food? Here's the food. $22 chicken wings, truffle fries for $18, quinoa and baby kale for $20. There's a 4-cheese pizza, turkey club, wagyu cheeseburger, steak frites. There's Oh, there's an asterisk next to each of the beef things saying you could get poisoned if we don't cook it right. There's a charcuterie pizza for $24. And molten chocolate cake is $15 for a slice of cake. There you go. But the primary list is all alcohol. Fascinating.
Wow.
And the
It's a lot
final
of booze.
theme park note is that the Animal Kingdom in Florida has a new baby tiger. And there is a video posted of mama and baby hanging
Yep.
out.
Yep.
Being cute.
Sumatran tiger cub named Bakso, B-A-K-S-O.
Boxo.
Boxo?
Yeah.
It sounds like a soap.
Yeah. Yep. The first baby tiger born, I guess they're in 7 years.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
cute. Its stripes have come
Yeah.
in. That's nice.
Yeah. Little
It's
Kelly
got some
critters.
stripy
They're nice.
goodness. Sean, you want to take the next section?
Surely. Let me pop us back over here. Lost a few people in the past couple weeks. We lost Alan Bly at the age of 87, who was a writer for Van Dyke and Company, the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, and a bunch of other things. Passed away in Palm Desert, where he originally had been convinced to move to L.A. by Tommy and Dickie Smothers and to work on their variety show, and worked with Bob Einstein, who was Super Dave, Steve Martin, Rob Reiner, and Carl Gottlieb, which is pretty cool. And if you grew up watching all of these variety shows in the in the 60s and 70s, you saw his work. The Andy Williams Show, Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, Bobby Vinton Show, Ray Stevens Show, all sorts of things like that. And then he wrote Elvis Presley's 1968 comeback special, which was kind of a big deal. Put Elvis back on the map.
Okay.
Liam Payne
Yeah.
passed away at the age of 31. He was the singer for One Direction, and he fell from a balcony at the hotel in Buenos Aires, his third floor balcony. Apparently, he was intoxicated, and he lost his balance and had passed away. There had been an alert that said the hotel staff was notified of an aggressive man who could be under the effects of drugs and alcohol. Apparently, that was the case. There were a lot of people who were very sad on my Facebook page for his passing away. We lost Paul Diamo, or Diano, rather, I guess, from Iron Maiden. And he was early on in the band and got replaced by Bruce Dickinson before the band really took off. He passed away at the age of 66. And then locally, yet internationally, we lost Fernando Valenzuela at the age of 63. His health had been declining in the past few years. He's best known as a player for the Dodgers. He was pitcher here. We found out about his passing just as the World Series was announced, that the Dodgers are playing the Yankees, and Fernando's career encompassed, I think, 2 World Series, and he was amazing. He pitched a no-hitter, which was a really big deal, and he was the thing that brought baseball, especially here in Los Angeles, to everybody. Because, of course, we have a really big Latino community here in L.A. who couldn't have cared too much about baseball. And, in fact, awkwardly, the Latino community was removed from the area that they were in, the Chavez Ravine, to put up Dodger Stadium. It's really, really terrible story about how all of that happened. But a lot of it was forgiven in the 1980s when Fernando Valenzuela came in and revitalized the team, brought Latino ball fans into the fold for the Dodgers, and we had a thing called Fernando Mania, which was absolutely nuts. So they had just announced a mural was going to be painted of him too out here, and it was really kind of a surprise at 63 for him to be passing away. But his career was just absolutely phenomenal. His jersey has been enshrined at Dodger Stadium for a while now, and we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, if you grew up in Southern California or were a Dodgers fan at all, you knew Fernando Valenzuela was he was a big deal.
All right, Jeff, do you want to start the speed round?
Sure. So apparently, okay, that's what that is. Okay. Starting November 1st, they're going to be bringing back Godzilla Minus One in the theatrical re-release. And it's going to be, it'll be both the color version and the black and white versions you can see. But each screening will actually include more than 13 minutes of behind-the-scenes content.
So like a making of?
Making of, and yeah, sort of, yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
In addition to yeah. And it's like, it's like, for me, it's like the best Godzilla movie that's been made. So
I agree.
Yeah, people.
How many Godzilla movies have you seen, Colleen?
All the way through? One.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. To be fair, it's actually a terrific movie. We saw it in black and... Did we see it in black and white, or we see it in color? Which came out first?
Color.
We saw it in color, and I thought it was just fine. We didn't go see the black and white one, I think, because we're like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's if you haven't seen
either.
it in a theater, you should see it in a theater. It's really amazing, and they managed to do a very interesting thing with it, which we probably talked about at the time, but to reiterate, is that they took this giant like kaiju monster movie, and they made it very, very personal about the humans in it, as opposed to like everybody's running away from the giant monster. Oh no! They really sort of introduced you to a bunch of characters. They explained their motivations. It really was
very
good.
much like in the same vein as Jaws.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would compare it to that. I think that's fair.
Well, I'd say it's one of the first times you actually cared about the characters in a Godzilla movie. Right. As opposed, compared to the very first Godzilla movie, you cared about them. But this, since then, it's just been, these are just the humans who are waiting for Godzilla to fight something.
Right.
So.
But that's the problem with every disaster movie. I mean, like the Towering Inferno is a really exciting movie, and Earthquake's a really exciting movie. But how much did you really care about those people? You didn't want them to die, but it's not like you were really invested.
All right, so I would like to mention that in the last few weeks, the co-chairs and themes of the 2025 Met Gala were announced. The theme is Superfine, Tailoring Black Style, which is drawing inspiration from the 2009 book Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity. And the co-hosts are Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, I want to say ASAP, Rocky, but the S is a $sign. I don't know if there's a way.
ASAP Rocky is
I wasn't
fine.
sure if you had to pronounce that $sign somehow. Pharrell Williams and Anna Wintour will co-chair the 2025 Met Gala alongside honorary chair LeBron James. So this is going to be really interesting because it will be an interesting balance of honoring the Black dandyism and Black identity and fashion without being a bad person about it. So, and I think most people who go to the Met Gala will probably be fine, but there is that whole, pick your outfit and then think about it, sit with a minute to make sure that you're not being racist in your outfit. So, yeah. And it's 18th century through present day. So I would certainly show up at the Met Gala wearing something 18th century.
Yeah, that would be very you.
Right. Sean, what do you want to talk about?
I'm going to kind of piggyback onto what you're doing with a piece of news from sports. Something happened for the very first time in basketball yesterday that had never happened before. LeBron James, who is here at the Los Angeles Lakers, basically grabbed his son, took him onto the court, and for the first time in NBA history, a father and son played a basketball game together. His 20-year-old son, Bronny, who was part of the team, had never played together. And so that was...
Is he a basketball player?
Yeah.
The way you said it made it seem like...
Nope, they're both basketball players.
It seemed like he was like just happened to be sitting in the audience and he was a little kid or something.
Nope, he's 20 years old. And, it was pretty great. And so LeBron James is 39. His son is 20. And
That's fun.
They... no one had ever done that before, which was just kind of neat. And like, for LeBron James, he's like, this is like the best moment of my life. It was really great.
Yeah.
And, to have them both on the same team and both playing at the same time, because it's really easy to just, tag one in and tag one out and not put them on the court at the same time. But, it was pretty neat. So
That's cool.
It's not a momentous milestone, but on a small level, it was a big deal for them.
Jeff?
Yeah. This is not a lot of news, but it is hopeful because I loved this when it came out. Not so much the color version, but Werewolf by Night, which was the first of the Marvel one-shot little things for Disney Plus, and the first MCU horror story. And the news is that that there have been talks. G Kiddo said that there have been talks about a Werewolf by Night follow-up. Nothing concrete, but if Marvel Studios were to greenlight it, I have some ideas of where I want these two characters to go next. The werewolf and Elsa Bloodstone. So at least there's been some talks, and that's nice because I want to see more of this. That was such
cool. It was good.
My favorite thing the MCU has done. Yeah.
I'd have to say my favorite thing is WandaVision.
Yeah, I liked WandaVision quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just making sure. I'm trying to remember which way our circle's going. I think I'm up, and I wanted to mention that the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is getting 2 new Disney entries. They are getting a Minnie Mouse balloon and a Disney Cruise Line float. So
nice.
Be sure to tune in on Thanksgiving morning and watch all of the musical shows that they do.
Yeah, it's so...
It's not really a parade anymore.
It's such an unusual parade in that they do these Broadway musical numbers right in the middle of the
Yeah, of
thing.
the parade. It's very weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I am curious to watch it this year, though, having just been there, and see if that was like a area we went to, see if we recognize anything, that kind of stuff. So that could be fun. Just since we were just there.
Sean, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So Marvel Studios has released a new logo for 2025, and as always, what they usually do is they take their lettering and then they populate it with all of their characters. It's an interesting logo. I'll show you right here, except for the chat. Get rid of the chat. There we go. So this is their logo, and there's a lot of interesting going on here, and some of it, you expect to see Captain America, and of course it's the new sort of Falcon edition, and I spy Agatha all along over there, and there's the What If crew is over in the V and the E, and lots of really interesting stuff happening there. But maybe most interesting is that the Fantastic Four is represented rather prominently where it typically isn't. So we have Johnny Storm over there. The Human Torch is at the top of the A.
Yep.
And then down at his feet is Herbie, the robot.
Yep.
And of course, you don't get an amazing look at him, but it is he's very 1960s, which I love. His face looks like a tape tape unit, which is really cool. And Herbie was the robot that was sort of in the cartoon series instead of Johnny Storm. And so I find it really interesting that we have both Johnny Storm and Herbie available here. And the movie is called Fantastic Four First Steps, so they could really kind of go in any direction with this. And it seems pretty cool. So I think it's really a fan service kind of moment. I think they really just want to make sure they're covering all of their bases, because most of the Fantastic Four movies have been crummy. It's never really caught the way they expected them to catch. And so Pedro Pascal is in it. That's a good sign. He's playing Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Vanessa Kirby. And because they always make Reed a little too young, I feel. And having Pedro Pascal in there is kind of seems an appropriate age. Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm. And Eben Moss Backrack is Ben Grimm. So we do not know who is yet playing Herbie. But Julie Garner is in it. John Malkovich is in it. But we don't know what they're playing yet. And Ralph Ineson is Galactus. So, I mean, this could be really great. It could be really terrible. The nice thing about having a whole bunch of really bad Fantastic Four movies that came out, I'm just like not holding my breath that this is going to be great. And then if it's great, they will surprise me, and I will be cheerfully energetic about it.
Jeff?
Exactly. Because you got to be. I mean, if you look at what they came out with already.
Right? It's just terrible stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Where the heck is that at? I just saw it a minute ago. Oh, there it is. This is one we hadn't covered. This is an older, because we didn't cover it last week. But apparently, if we're playing Indiana Jones music, underneath, apparently they found a secret tomb of sorts underneath a structure that was the one the actual one they used in not the last one, but the Last Crusade, and
in Petra
they found, I think it was 12 mummies.
Yeah.
Yes. And Petra's Pink Stone Cliffs. That's is where it's at. Yeah. The structure is called the well, I'm going to mess this one up. Al Kazna. um, yeah, and they found 12 complete human skeletons and a trove of bronze, ceramic, and iron artifacts in the tomb.
That's wild that they're still finding things like that.
I know, right?
Yeah, exactly. So pretty darn cool.
So apparently the MCU thought it would be a great idea to give Tom Holland and Zendaya a copy of the Spider-Man 4 script.
What, so they could leak it?
Well, I mean, Zendaya's not a problem with that, but Tom why
Holland
would they give
is.
Tom Holland a copy? So they say it's really good that they were bouncing around the living room when they read it because they
cool.
sat down together and read it.
Yeah.
And that it's really good.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to imagine
Nice.
if I were the person at the MCU, I'd be like, here's a script, and then not give them the real one because Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Right, but that means they would
Well,
have to
yeah.
have to create 2 really good movies.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
It's
And and apparently Tom had actually went to the MCU but long before this and said, here's a story idea I'd like to do for another Spider-Man. And they said, well, we can't do that because we're using that for the new Captain America movie coming out. So something Tom
No.
Holland came up with is actually being used in that. Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Tom Holland had originally said he didn't want to play the character after he turns 30, but
Oh, geez.
he likes the script.
Yeah, he
and,
can always
and
bail out on that idea. He doesn't
Amy
have to.
Pascal said that both Holland and Zendaya will be in Spider-Man 4, definitely.
Cool.
So, Sean.
Oh, cool. Cool.
I'm going to merge 2 stories here. I think one of them's on our list and one of them isn't. Tesla's in a little bit of trouble. And it is twofold. One is that Tesla is being sued over Blade Runner because basically they used sort of AI skimmed art to promote all of the latest Tesla things like the Cyber Cab and all of that kind of thing. And so the people who did Blade Runner 2049 on the whole don't have any affiliation with Tesla, and they are grumpy that he's using their stuff specifically because, and I'm quoting here, Musk's massively amplified, highly politicized, capricious, and arbitrary behavior, which sometimes veers into hate speech. So they don't agree with that, and they're very upset that a lot of the images that they're using to promote all of their new stuff is basically using their intellectual property of Blade Runner to promote it. And there is another case that does not involve Blade Runner. It actually involves iRobot, which really drives this kind of a case home where it's not. This isn't AI.
Oh, yeah.
This is the real deal. So I'm going to show you here. This is Alex Proyas, who did iRobot from back in the day. This was the movie with Alan Tudyk as the robot in question. And so here we have on the left the iRobot movie, and on the right the stuff that was shown by Tesla. So this is their humanoid robot on the right, as seen with the movie. Then they have a big sort of truck cargo kind of thing, which seems to look awfully similar between these two designs. And then there's the main runabout car. The one on the right is the Cyber Cab, and the one on the left was the vehicle from the movie. And so, I mean, there is a pretty marked similarity between all of these.
Yeah.
And it's it's just not sitting well with a lot of the movie makers, and they're like, stop stealing our stuff. And in the case of the AI created
Yeah.
images regarding Blade Runner, like there was a guy who looked like Ryan Gosling in it, and it's just the whole presentation thing looked so close. And here I can show you this one really quick. So on the top here, there we go. So this is the Blade Runner image. This orange skyline here. It's supposed to be Las Vegas, and this one is the Tesla version, which I don't know, seems pretty similar.
The hell?
There, right? So this is why they're mad.
Yeah.
And I am very impressed with them. I think those are the only images they show us. I'm very impressed that they're actually taking them to court over this, because it's really easy to just go, he's a billionaire, we're going to lose. But nope, they're going for it. So let's see how they do. And I mean, people use other people's art for inspiration all the time. Just don't
Yeah.
steal it. Do your own thing.
Yeah,
Don't like
exactly.
completely rip it off. What the heck? So and especially as we get more up in arms about AI completely ripping people off, be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
Jeff?
Another one we didn't miss last week because we were doing the
Ghost
thing,
show.
whatever. Yeah. So I think this has actually been talked about on other things, but right now until, gosh, I can't remember when they said it was going to be, we're going to lose sight of it, but I think it's sometime in November. But it started back around October 12th, so a little ways ago, is that you could see in the western horizon around twilight, and it just got later and later as days went by, that you could see the comet, the new comet new to us comet that has been going, and it's another one. Why can't they just call it Comet Frank or something? But anyway, so
Because there's a lot of them,
it's-
and they got to give them numbers.
yeah. So I'm skipping the numbers and going to the name. It's a Sushinshan Atlas
Okay.
is the name of the comet. It has it's got letters and numbers before that, but going to that part. But it won't be back for about 80,000 years. So that gives you an idea when the last time it was around.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of friends who've been going out into the desert to take pictures of it, and it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean, what do you want to talk about?
I'm going to kind of blow through a whole bunch of these things here, so sorry if I step on anybody's toes, but I did tease a whole bunch of these. This is like we always talk about how Hollywood has no new ideas, and they keep recycling stuff. It just seems to be getting really bad
Correct.
right now. So there's a movie coming out called Karate Kid Legends, which is taking off from Cobra Kai and following Daniel-san as there's a new kid, because there's always a new kid. There's the Harry Potter HBO TV series that they're working on right now.
Meh.
They expect it to go for multiple seasons, and the casting call is underway for the big three characters on this. Amazon is doing a television series based on the horror movie Carrie, which is not a thing I'm entirely sure we needed to see. We're getting a sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a new American Psycho movie that's in the works. And like, that's a 24-year-old movie, but hey, here we go. We're getting another one. It's really kind of crazy to see how it's all shaping up.
Don't forget Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice is, well, there's always a new Pride and Prejudice. Oh my gosh. And Lord of the Rings, the hunt for Gollum, that's happening. It's like, and in the meantime, there's a bunch of people out there with a whole bunch of new projects out there going, hey, what about us?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I would like to see more
Yeah.
original stuff happen.
Yeah. I mean, so basically that's why I watched the movie Late Night with the Devil the other night, and it was in theaters. But when I'm watching it, it's like little small production company, logo after small production company, logo after.
Oh, I saw
it's
your
like ding,
Facebook
ding, ding,
post.
ding, ding. Yeah,
It's like
and
20 logos later, the movie starts.
yeah, yeah. It's a good movie, but it's just like you're like going, wow, could they just maybe just put this in the credits, at the beginning, and they do, and just leave it at that instead of giving us the little promo thing that they do for all these little companies.
I wonder who
But-
started that. It's going to be embarrassing if it was like Lucasfilm or something.
I don't know, but it's a good movie, and that's what I mean. Like these other ones that are coming out that you're talking about, they're not going to have issues with that. They won't have to have a bunch of companies they have to run to get money to make their film. It's just like they're just one big company. Here's Amazon, kaboom! Here's the cash.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
All right. 4 minutes left. Any final comments from anybody about what you're doing coming up, about
Well,
things we missed talking about?
the reason the show is on Wednesday tonight, unless you're on the radio, it's
Yeah.
Thursday. Shh. Is because Jeff and I are doing Treats in the Streets tomorrow in Orange at the Orange Circle.
Yes.
Jeff likes to
Yep.
point out that the Orange Circle was in That Thing You Do. So you have seen the Orange
Yes.
Circle if you saw that movie.
Yeah.
And
It's been in a lot of movies, but yeah.
yeah, we've done a bajillion events there too. And we've done Treats in the Streets many years as well. The event,
Yeah.
and I will leave this to you to figure out, if you abbreviate Treats in the Streets, it's slightly awkward.
Yeah,
So anyway,
yeah.
so we're doing that tomorrow. I'm officiating a wedding on Saturday. The Anaheim Halloween Parade is on Saturday. You're going to the parade, right, Jeff?
Yep.
Are you driving?
Yeah.
Okay. So some
Yes.
of the
Randy told me to drive, so
some of Road Squadron is going to be there for Treats in the Streets.
yeah.
And if I can get out of my wedding in time, I may be there too. We'll have to see. But my wedding is like 2 hours away, so we'll see how that
Yeah.
shakes.
Say it as
And
if
then
you're
marrying.
marrying, getting married.
Oh, I'm officiating the wedding. In case
There you go.
didn't know. Yeah.
See, there you go. Yeah. Friday night is ELO, right?
Yes, we are as a trio.
Yeah.
Going to see Electric Light Orchestra about 4 miles from here. And I'm super excited because I haven't seen an ELO
Yeah.
concert since they were here in LA in like 1980.
I haven't
Or
seen one
81.
ever.
Okay.
Well, and Colleen and I
Oh,
have
wow.
never been to a rock concert together, I don't think.
I haven't been
Really?
to one since
Oh,
high
wow.
school.
Yeah. So,
Well, actually, I think I went to one after high school, but it was before I met you.
yeah. And I've gone to concerts like
Oh, wow.
without her where she's like, go have fun. I don't care. But, it's Electric Light Orchestra. We all
Let's see.
like them. And it is the last tour of ELO.
Yeah.
And this was the last stop on their tour. So I'm very excited to go and to check them
Nice.
out. Richard Tandy was the keyboardist for ELO. Sadly, just recently passed away. Although I don't think he was
Yeah,
touring
yeah.
with them anyway. I think he was in ill health. So I'm sad to not see him again. But yeah, I'm
Gotcha.
really, really excited to do this. It's at the Great Western Forum, or now it's called the Kia Forum, but which is
Yeah.
a really, really kind of neat circular venue. So hopefully our tickets are good. Our seats are
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We
yeah.
got the best
And,
seats we could afford. That's basically how that worked out.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing binoculars.
Yeah, on Sunday I have Dogtoberfest. It's like a trick or treat thing and the people can bring their dogs if they're behaving. And Upland, and then
That's on
Owen's
Sunday.
having a
That's
Sunday.
Sunday? Oh.
Yeah, and then Owen's having a Halloween party as well, like
On Sunday?
later on,
Oh.
the same day. Yeah.
Busy weekend.
I wonder why I didn't sign up for Dogtoberfest. I thought it was Saturday.
I think you're busy.
On Sunday?
You must be busy for something. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think
No,
there's
he's not.
there's
Pretty sure it's
nothing on
Sunday.
our calendar. I could totally do that. I mean, it's in Upland. I have such a great track record
think
getting
it's
to
Sunday.
Upland in a reasonable time. That's the one that Brent is organizing, right?
Yeah.
Dogtoberfest, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The biggest bummer
Yeah.
about that, so usually when we do trunk or treats, they usually cover us for candy. And this time round, they're not covering
Yeah.
It's
us
on Sunday.
for candy.
Yeah.
Trunk or treat
Yeah.
is on Sunday.
Yeah.
Dogtoberfest is on Sunday.
Yeah. I could...
Yeah. And I think you have to you may have to sign up on their little board to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll look into it and
So-
see. Because if I'm free,
Yeah.
I could go. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It'll be fun.
All right. Yeah, I think a whole bunch of Road Squadron people are going. Like Star is coming down with the Firefly truck
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, I might do that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. I can't
Big
think
quarter.
of anything else.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in on an off night. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So to you guys watching us on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube, you guys are awesome, even though it's Wednesday. And to you guys
Yeah.
listening to us
So
on
cool.
sci-fi.radio on Thursday, thanks for doing that too. Absolutely glad to have you guys along in any capacity. And the fact that you're interested in anything we have to say is absolutely amazing. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledadaho.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always, may the force be
May the
with
force
you.
Be with you.
All right. We will see all y'all later on. I'm going to give our
Good night, everybody.
broadcast. Where's our... Here we go. Here's our thing. La, la, la. Credits. You guys check out the credits. And then we will see you next... Actually, I don't think we will see you next week. Because it's Halloween. Unless we do what we did tonight and we pre-recorded early.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
This is true.
Bye.